usually choose something that has the real or symbolic capability of initiating a catastrophe. Something material that may be perceived by the senses. A bottle with a flaring lip. That is a sightless, transparent or translucent material consisting typically of a mixture of silicates. A kind of amorphous materials formed from a melt by cooling to rigidity without crystallization, and a child of one's uncle or aunt, an object of curiosity or contempt and nothing discouraging familiarities, and unbroken a phenomenon of light or visual perception that enables one to differentiate otherwise identical objects suffering pain or grief, and an order in a group of interacting bodies under the influence of related forces to giving added force. All this and not of common quality, not unmarked by regularity and not being like or similar to. The element or factor that separates or distinguishes contrasting situations is stretching out.
Tiny pieces of sparkling material covered with a glossy finish. A silvery white metal. What is a silvery white metal? It is originally relieved from a thick protective outer part. The alteration in that is that as of blood, fire, and rubies makes less strong a period of time divided into 60 minutes. The alteration has arrived. There is no computing the systematic retrieval of information. But there is that feeling of expectation and that an explanation and at some unspecified time, certainly determiners is not gladly received. At some unspecified time there is an inhalation or exhalation of air, and there will be a position requiring little or no work but giving the holder status and attractive. Very attractive is that pure and freeing from guilt. Surely sparkling brilliantly is good looking and capable of causing someone to believe that something is true. There is no quality of being thankful in compassion shown toward someone whom it is within one's power to punish, and in drugs taken by the mouth. There can be the fact of being fractured in relating to Japan. That is no planned series of future events. That is no selected property possessed by an object producing different sensations on the eye as a result of the way the object reflects or emits light. It was selected on the day before today, that allowed to be visible ejecting saliva forcefully from one's mouth and expressing uncertainty, cleaning with water and making the surface smooth and shiny by rubbing it. It definitely allowed to be visible, no condition of being morally or legally bound, and expressing uncertainty. If taking and using with the intention of returning is not made or caused by humankind, there is an unspecified amount of value in bestowing
a particular kind of matter in a layer of air supporting a hovercraft or similar vehicle. The becoming different of a property possessed by an object producing different sensations on the eye as a result of the way the object reflects or emits light, is probably and a dissimilarity. A very small amount of dissimilarity is made ready for use. Sucrose is not a plant used as food. Showing cruel disregard for others is something that making tougher goes away from underlying but not apparent what will be easy to mold, cut, compress, or fold if there is an authentic state of wanting to know and there being existing now as many female children as adult human males. Does this become different? It makes apparent that loose soil is free from dirt when there is an amount of space an object occupies.
A layer of air supporting a hovercraft or similar vehicle has that thick protective outer part. Assuming you do not like to become different, assuming it is very pure, that there is no alteration in outward look, assuming that there is the quality of having the arrangement of floral parts exhibiting radial symmetry with members of the same world similar in form and a prevailing fashion in coiffure, jewelry, and apparel of a period, country, or class is at any the less skillful than an edible bivalve mollusks of the family Ostridae and an act of giving one thing and receiving another. Approach one of the 4 quarters into which the year is commonly divided. That is there any relation to a form of a sport that involves an unusually high degree of physical risk, the act of employing something in light horny epidermal outgrowths that form the external covering of the body of birds, and a soft usually white fibrous substance composed of the hairs surrounding the seeds of various erect freely branching tropical plant of the mallow family. Is there not a lot more state of felicity in a piece of furniture consisting of a smooth flat slab fixed on legs and more seats, typically having 4 legs and a back for one person, and very likely well filled out, and a physical environment to place them?
A halo of delicate flat stiff, usually small and rectangular piece of material, and an incalculable element in existence to observe a terminal male inflorescence of some plants. Literal Gertrude Stein.
Literary Gertrude Stein.
Literal Gertrude Stein.
Literal Gertrude Stein by Janie Basu.